Did Anna Mac really quit Baddies Africa, or was she fired? And the new girls, the new G's of Baddies Africa are definitely clocking in and making their mark. All that and more on the Baddies Africa After Show, episode 4. If you want to talk about it, you better believe we are. Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, you know what to do. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, press that thumbs up button, and like this video. Get in the comment section and join the conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on episode 4. And last but not least, if you would like to donate to the channel and support your boy, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate. All right, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, Amazon wishlist, it's all there. Thank you, baby. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. Episode 4. I'm catching up on Baddies Africa. I'm trying to get caught up to you guys so we can be on the same motion here. Hope you all are doing well. Today is my birthday, June 17th, Gemini season. Shout out to all the Geminis out there, baby. Shout out to all the Geminis. And shout out to everybody, okay? Just shout out to all y'all. Thank y'all for being here again. I appreciate your support. Y'all mean so much to me. I haven't been around as much lately. Sometimes when you're a creative and a content creator, you kind of go through this block. You kind of go through this creative thing, and I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to push more videos out. I'm trying to get back into the mode, okay? But let's get into episode 4. All right, Summer versus Cold's Killer. Okay, we see Summer defending Dolly, right? Summer and Dolly came outside to a situation where Cold Killer and some of the other girls are out there hanging out and talking. Summer and Dolly come out there. Dolly and Cold end up getting into a back and forth little spat. And all of a sudden, Summer comes out swinging, defending her girl Dolly. And I don't know if Summer had baby powder in her hands or what, but when she swung on Dolly, all you saw was white powder flying everywhere. And the white powder ended up getting on Summer. It didn't even get on Cold's Killer. Okay? Now, this all stems from Summer saying that she's not going to call some of these girls by their names, like Fauna. Okay? We all remember that, right? She said that she wasn't going to call Fauna by her name. And then we have Cold Killer standing up for Fauna. I think K. Rican even stood up for Fauna a bit when it came to that. And Dolly thinks that these new girls are coming in as a trio, trying to come in as a trio like they did last season. Dolly thinks that, Fauna, K-Rican, Cold Killer, that they're trying to come in and be the new Big Lex, Bad Dolly, and Summer, right? Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. You know what I think it is? I just think some of these girls come into the show and you might click with somebody, or you might bond with somebody over something who and you get close and you start building little alliances. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of downtime that we don't see, right? These girls aren't meeting for the first time in episode 1 when we see them. These girls have met prior to filming because Zeus has them in hotels waiting and all this other stuff. So who knows? I'm sure it's easy for these little trios to form, right? Now, Cold Killer versus Dolly. Let's talk about it. Those two go at one another. One thing I can say about observing these new girls is Cold Killer cannot fight. Okay? She talks a lot. She talks a good game, and she's trying to, she's got the persona and she's got the look, but baby, the hands are not there. Okay? The hands are not there. I don't think Cold Killer was ready for that. Dolly was doing that whop, 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 that uppercut that her and Ivory do. I've noticed that like some of the better fighters on the cast, they keep their head up, and they either do that they either do that like straight, just coming at you with their head up, punching really fast, or they get you with that uppercut. Now, Ivory goes to check on Fauna and K. Rican, the new girls that are a part of this trio. And here goes Summer, starting with them, right? We know that Summer had started with K. Rican and Fauna, all the stuff that happened in the Sprinter van. Summer has been picking with these new girls since they got here. So Ivory is pretty much like, let me go check on them. Let me go make sure they're good. Now, in the meantime, while she's checking on Fauna and K Rican, LCK is in the room. And Ivory orchestrates a fight between LCK and K Rican, right? Ivory says, look, you got LCK is talking about her issues with K Rican, and Ivory is like, well, look, or I'm sorry, I think Ivory was talking to K Rican about her issues, and Ivory was like, what you gonna do if LCK walks in the room? And K Rican's like, I'm gonna square up with her. And lo and behold, what happens? Cue LCK in the room. Here comes LCK. She walking in. Her and K Rican, boom, they go at it. Now, here they go. Neither one of these girls can fight, okay? I don't know. I don't know which is the worst fighter, but the entire time these two girls were latched onto each other hugging. We know that technique. We know that method. It's very familiar on Baddies, right? For the girls that can't fight, they just kind of latch on, pull hair a little bit, kick, you know what I'm saying? So, ripping wigs, nothing new to see here. Now, then, as K Rican and LCK are fighting, Big Lex tries to break it up. Big Lex steps in and tries to break it up. Now, as Big Lex tries to break it up, Fauna decides that she wants to come jump in it too. Right? Now, we hear from Fauna later, because I was looking at Fauna like, why are you jumping in that when Big Lex is trying to break it up? But listening to Fauna tell it later on in the episode, she says that uh, K Rican was her girl, and all she saw was her and Elsie fighting, and then she saw Big Lex jump in to try to defuse the situation, so she wanted to step in for her girl, K Rican. But, however, Fauna, it looked like you were trying to do a jump situation. And maybe it was just the camera angle. I don't know what it was, but when Big Lex jumped in, she was doing like this. It looked like she was trying to pull them apart. Fauna, on the other hand, looked like she was trying to jump into the fight, jump into the situation. Um, Now, Ivory sees this. Ivory sees that Fauna is trying to jump in. And uh, here come Ivory. Ivory jumps in and she's like, no, we ain't jumping nobody. We ain't jumping nobody. So that leads me to believe that Ivory also looked at it like Big Lex was just trying to break up the situation. Because Ivory didn't jump in when she saw Big Lex jump in. Unless this goes back to my theory that the Ivories and the Dollies and the Big Lexes of the groups don't like to fight girls like them. But then again, I don't agree with that. Because I think we've seen Dolly and Ivory fight. We've seen, I don't know, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think Big Lex, Dolly, and Ivory intentionally try to avoid fighting one another because they are the better fighters? I would love to hear what y'all thought about that, okay? But Ivory is trying to break it up. She's saying no jumping, no jumping. She even starts swinging on Fauna and them, so we got four girls fighting here. LCK and K Rican are going at it. Big Lex is trying to break it up. Fauna's done jumped in it. Ivory's now whopping Fauna upside the head because she jumped in it. Five girls in it. I'm sorry, five girls in the situation. Fauna, you just should have stayed out of it, boo. Stayed out of it. But I can kind of understand all aspects, all parties here. Um, Now, meanwhile, Big Lex is pissed and wants her lick back because she said, Fauna has jumped in this situation. You have, you done hit me. So I want my lick back. And Fauna is standing on the couch like, let me catch my breath. Let me catch my breath. No, baby. No, because you had all the smoke when you tried to jump in. You just told Big Lex, you wanted her, you wanted to fight her. Let me at her, and that's when folks are scary and can't fight. When they, let me catch my breath. Alexa, play "Lose My Breath" by Destiny's Child. Can you keep up, Fauna? Can you keep up? I'm just wondering. Can you keep up? Make you lose your breath. Um, Now, and my thing too, Fauna, is you have plenty of breath in your lungs when you try jumping in that fight. Square up. Welcome to Baddies. Everybody whooping everybody. Okay? Now, then did y'all hear in the confessional? Wait, before I move on too quick. Did y'all hear in the confessional? Fauna tries saying, Mac, Mac, Mac. Yeah, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. Like, girl, what? Don't tell me you're going to be one of those. Don't tell me that you're one of the confessional gangsters, one of the confessional narratives that try to change the narrative from what we actually see as the public on our screen. Mac, 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 Mac. You didn't Mac, Mac, Mac nothing but that mouth, Fauna. And I thought I was going to like you, but you're an actress. You're yet another actress, okay? Get in where you fit in, Fauna, and this ain't it. Now, DTB meets with Anna Wack in the next scene. We see DTB meet with Anna Wack to find out what's going on and why she got fired, allegedly. Okay, now we hear Anna talking to DTB saying, she has to leave, and DTB says, "Why would you come all the way out here just to go home?" Well, let's answer that question. Why would someone come all the way out to Africa just to come home? This isn't Anna Mac's first rodeo. She did Baddies East. She did Baddies Caribbean. She did Baddies Midwest. Baddies Africa all of a sudden is too difficult for you? It's too much for you? No, let's call it what it is. Natalie was fed up and she gave an ultimatum. And I think this also has a lot to do with why y'all remember at the beginning of Baddies Africa filming when Natalie was claiming they were holding her captive and she was filming Lemon Pepper. She's like, "Look, he's holding me captive." And Lemon Pepper looked zooted out of his mind like he'd been doing cocaine all night. I feel like Natalie crashed out at the beginning of the season, wants her way, feels like she's the boss CEO of that network. Feels like she's really, Natalie's got a big ego. And I think she, just like she has said in this season, she's tired of the girls disrespecting her. These newer girls, the Annas and the Scotties that have not been here as long as she has in the reality TV game. Um, so I truly believe that this was part of a deal. This was part of a negotiation. This was part of giving Natalie her way and pacifying her and was getting Anna Mac out of there. Lemon Pepper giving her what she wants. And we all know that Lemon Pepper, the CEO of the Zeus Network, has already chosen, allegedly, right? Scotty is his girl. We've seen that. That's on the Instagram. That's on the internet. He's posting her up. They both posting each other. Anna Mac is nowhere to be found in that equation. She's finally ducked off now that she's got a boyfriend. So, in my opinion, Anna was fired. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm listening. I know a lot of y'all are fans of her, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree, but I was just over her antics, and I'm ready for something new. And this is what I want. Anna, I want to see you do something outside of the Zeus Network. I want to see you do something outside of Lemon Pepper and Natalie. I want to see you do something outside of having to use your hole, allegedly. Y'all don't remember the chlamydia tapes? We ran the tapes up here, the audio. Scotty and Anna talking about who gave chlamydia to who and why is that being started, and that's not true. That was all out there, okay? I'm not saying nobody has chlamydia. I don't know what nobody does in their bedroom. I don't know whose coochie, bussy, Peter is burning, okay? I just know that Scotty and Anna was on the audio talking about it, all right? Now, Anna's obviously trying to spin the narrative. I can't do this right now. Okay, girl, that's fine. Lemon Pepper chose Scotty over you. And I guess the money stops coming. I don't know. Now Anna says that Baddies is still her life. This still your life? Do something outside of Baddies, Anna. Like, come on, sis. I want to, like, honestly, I would like to see her go on and do something else. Let's see if you have the talents to go out here and be on another network show. Can you do like Camilla and get on House of Villains on the E network? I don't think you can. Because everybody over at the E network just ain't finna let you slob on a knob to get on a TV show. I'm just saying. I just want to see what you can do without a pimp. Okay. Now, Ivory and Dolly have a one-on-one moment that we see. These two girls hug it out. They talk about, how they started this show together and how they want to move forward. And listen, I'd want to make peace with Ivory too. I'd want to make peace with Dolly too. They both fight like men. I ain't trying to fight either one of them. They probably ain't trying to fight each other. So they make it a peace treaty. I get it. And you know what? I feel like too, when you first come on Baddies, if you're new together, you end up fighting. You either end up aligning together or you end up fighting one another when you're both newbies on a show, right? You're either besties or you don't really fuck with one another. And I feel like that came down to Ivory and Dolly, but it's nice to see them move past their issues because if you can't beat them, join them, right? And I feel like that's more so in Dolly's case. I feel like Dolly's more so like, I don't feel like Ivory needs acceptance from anybody. I don't feel like Ivory needs to make a peace treaty with anybody, but I could see that more with Dolly. That makes sense. Now, Dolly tries to explain to Ivory that they weren't making fun of Fauna's name because Ivory's asking Dolly, like, what happened? Where's all this drama and animosity coming from? And Dolly tries to tell Ivory that spin the narrative, change the story, and say that they weren't making fun of Fauna's name. They just couldn't pronounce it. But like Ivory said in her confessional, let's not act like y'all probably weren't calling this girl Fanta, Fantasia, Fanta Marina. You know what I mean? Like, let's not. And they were. They were. Dolly got in front of Ivory and told a bold-faced lie. You knew what it was. You knew what Summer said. And you knew how it went down. And if any of you girls on this show, if anybody said, I'm not calling you bad, Dolly. I'm not calling you Summer. I'm calling you Winter. I'm not calling you Big Lex. I'm calling you Little Lex. I'm calling you good Dolly. I ain't calling you bad Dolly, bitch. You know what I'm saying? If anybody said that to those girls, they would be ready to swing. Hello, let's talk about it, right? Now, Natalie comes in the picture and gathers the newbies. Because let's face it, she wants everybody to get together to do a house meeting or a fight scene or something. Anytime Natalie comes in, there are agendas in place. Anytime Natalie steps into a scene, there's an intention, there's an agenda. She's always ghost producing. Now, Natalie is asking K-Rican, Codekilla, and Fauna if they're a duo, if they're a trio, I mean. But they all say that they're not. However, I think they are by default, and I think by the end of the season, we're going to either see them split apart or we're going to see them be the Big Three 2.0. Okay? Now, Natalie's talking to these new girls and she explains to them that they can't be fighting in Africa. She says, we can't be fighting in Africa because they will get kicked out and we won't be able to come back. And I'm just like, we've heard this before. Y'all said this in Hawaii and you still fought and you still acted a fool. I don't think just because you in Africa is going to be any different. The only place I could see them not showing their ass is Dubai. And I don't even see there being a Baddies Dubai. Like, how would it even be possible unless you just locked the girls in a house and filmed in the house? Because anywhere they try to film in Dubai on the streets is going to be immediate, locked up. They won't let me out. But Africa, y'all over here, Natalie over here talking about we can't fight in the club. I'm just like, okay. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if we can get through the rest of this season without any of the girls fighting in the club. A hair hanging out of my nose. I hope y'all couldn't see that. The whole taping. That's embarrassing. Okay. Um. Now, Elsie While Natalie is talking to the new girls, giving them the rundown, telling them, we can't fight in the club tonight, Elsie fills Natalie in on some drama that happened before filming. And she tells Natalie that K. Rican was talking about her family before filming started, and that's where a lot of their beef come from. Now, Russian Cream and Tavi, another trio almost, talk about how the other trio, K. Rican, Cold Killer, and Fauna, was trying to jump Elsie, right? We saw that last week. Not all. I don't think all three of them did. It was mainly Cold Killer and K. Rican that tried the whole jumping thing with Elsie. But it seems like we got multiple trios now. We got Russian, Elsie, and Tavi, and we also got K. Rican, Cold Killer, and Fauna. And each of these trios are kind of fighting against one another. They're both going to Natalie and airing their grievances about the other trio, what they've done to one another. So, that's one of the main storylines that we've got this far into Baddies Africa, are these battle of the trios. A lot of the OGs are kind of sitting back and chilling. I mean, they're clocking in, they're getting in there a little bit, but it's mainly the new girls carrying this season. And I think that's says a lot about the future of Baddies. I think the future of Baddies is going to be a lot of new faces instead of the same people. Now, because the same people get comfortable, right? Natalie holds a house meeting. She says she wants to get everything out on the table. You got these two trios that are fighting with one another, so she wants to get it all on the table, and she wants the girls to fight. Let's just be real. The girls have to square up. So Natalie's trying to get everything addressed so they don't get to fighting in the club. She wants them to end it here. Fight here. Don't get to the club and start fighting. Now, immediately, Big Tavi confronts, I think that's her name, Big Tavi, whatever. She confronts the other trio on jumping Elsie. She's like, did y'all or did y'all not try jumping my girl LCK? And they're like, huh? When did she get jumped? When did she get jumped? So they're kind of, and I also think in K. Rican, Cold Killer, and Fauna's mind, I don't think that they believe they jumped Elsie. Because let's remember, it wasn't three of them. All three of them did not jump on her. It was originally Elsie and K. Rican, I believe. And then Cold Killer kind of jumped in from behind. Or vice versa. It was either Elsie and Cold Killer fighting and K. Rican jumped in. Or it was Elsie and K. Rican fighting or Elsie and Cold Killer fighting and K. Rican jumped in. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. There's so many new girls, it's hard to keep up. Anyway, so they're confused. They're like, when did she get jumped? When did she get jumped? However, girls, it did kind of look like an attempted jumpation situation. So I can see why they think that. Now, things get heated and intense quick between Tavi and K. Rican, right? Because they're insisting that LCK did not get jumped. Now, Tavi is a stout girl, right? Something about her I'm liking. I think it's because she's got a lot of personality. She's got a lot of spunk and flair. She's making herself known. But she is tall. She's stout. She's brawny. You know what I mean? And she fights with her head up. I'm looking at her. I'm looking at Tabby like, okay, you might be one of those fighters to watch out for. Now, K. Rican says that Tabby is doing all this because Natalie is here. And she says in her confessional, why didn't you do all this on the first night when me and Killa fucked that bitch up? Okay, there we go. That's what we needed. That's what we needed right there. That was the evidence that we needed. That was the testimony that we needed to prove that you guys did jump this girl and you didn't know what you were doing, right? Because I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they didn't realize what they were doing. Maybe it didn't look like a jumping situation to them because they hit LCK at different times. But they knew what they were doing. Y'all are admitting that you jumped on this girl, especially you, Rican, because you got in your confessional and you said, when me and Killa fucked that bitch up. Why did Tavi not say something the night that me and Killa fucked that bitch up? You're admitting to it, right? Don't y'all see it that way? Because she was denying it in person, but admitting to it in confessional. Now, Tavy may be doing all this because Natalie is here. She might be, but she got the best of you, sis. She got the best of you, sis. And she may be doing a lot. She may be doing a lot. But I feel like she whooped her ass. Who do you think won that? In between, when it come down to Tavy and K Rican, who won that fight? Now, Rican made me laugh. In her confessional, she said, "Now you want to puff your muscles up with your tight ass butt, bitch." She said, "Now you want to puff your muscles up with your tight ass butt, bitch, just because Natalie's here." That Rican, she got a mouth on her. She's funny at times. I like her. I'm watching her too. I think she's going to be one to watch. Now, she can't fight, but she's funny. Wait, maybe I'm thinking of Cold Killer. They can't fight. I get Cold Killer and K Rican mixed up. I think it's the K's. Now, LCK, Potang, y'all noticed how she will jump in a fight. Like, she'll jump. Rolly was getting on to LCK, like, LC, you need to get in there. And, they're all fighting over you. You need to get in the paint. Y'all see how LC, like, she'll jump in a fight and throw a punch, and then she'll jump back. Like, get back in her safe space. Because she jumped in the fight, and then she ran back over there with Rolly and them. Did y'all peep that? I don't think Elsie about that life, but she's entertaining. She's very entertaining. I like her being there. I think she's funny, silly, goofy, doesn't take herself too serious. And, yeah. Now, Rolly says that she feels like K Rican and Cold Killer were plotting to attack Elsie from the beginning. From the beginning. Now, I don't know if I believe that they were plotting it. I just think it happened that way. And old girl just decided to jump in. Do I think that they tried to jump this girl? Absolutely. Do I think that it was plotted and planned? No. I think it just happened that way. Now, Natalie asked the girls, but again, let me go back to that too. That's why I like Rolly. Rolly will always, for the most part, stand up for what is right. She will a lot of times say what nobody else in the room is going to say, right? Now, Natalie asked the girls, can we go out tonight and leave the drama at home? Can we all go out to the club? Everybody's finally aired their grievances out. They said what they got to say. Can we move on and go to the club? Here goes Summer. She jumps up and sneaks K Rican, runs up on K Rican and sneaks her. And you can best believe there ain't going to be no peace in the Baddies Africa house with Summer around, okay? And it's just like, Summer, damn, girl, really? But I guess Natalie did say, air it all out, get it out here before we go to the club. So I guess it's better that Summer fought her there than in the club. I don't know. I just feel like Summer is a obnoxious girl that loves to fight. She's obnoxious. She's annoying. I loved Summer last season. I really did. But this season, she's really done some things that's like, ooh, ah. And we only in episode 4. And we see later on in the season where Summer is not even on. Like in the next few episodes, I don't even think Summer is on them because she ends up putting her hands on a zoo security member. Now, when Summer runs up on K Rican, that creates pandemonium in the room. And then we see Big Lex stand up and look at Fauna like, okay, now I want Fauna, right? So it's trio versus trio versus trio, baby. So Big Lex versus Fauna. Only for Dolly's. I've tried to give Dolly the benefit of the doubt, but I just don't like her. She's a bully. She's antagonistic. She's rude. She's egotistical. She's entitled. And Big Lex is fighting Fauna, and Dolly decides to jump in the situation right away. Like, right away. Which was so wrong. Like, why did you even, like, I don't feel like you had to even do that, Dolly. Dolly, here's the thing. You wouldn't have done that if that were Ivory. If that were Big Lex and Ivory fighting, do y'all think that fucking Dolly would have jumped in? Do you? No. You want to jump in and fight because you know you see Big Lex fighting Fauna, the girl who can't fight, who's a lot smaller than you. I just don't like Bad Dolly at all. From her trashy, ugly confessional outfits to her nasty attitude, I don't like her. And I've tried. I've tried. Go back and look at my track record where I've tried to like her because she was a part of the big three: Summer, Big Lex, Bad Dolly. I was trying to like them. But Dolly, she also gives the vibe that she thinks she's the leader of that trio. She also gives the vibe that she wants to be the queen bee of Baddies Africa. I do think she's intimidated by Ivory, which is why we saw them make that peace treaty. Because Bad Dolly, if you can't beat them, join them. And she knows at the end of the day, Ivory will whoop her ass. hmm So yeah, I just did not like the whole jumping of it all. But anyway, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this episode, whose side you're on, and all that, okay? What do you think about the trios? Do you have a favorite trio? Do you have a favorite cast member? Whose side are you on when it comes to the trios? You know what I'm saying? The new girls. What do you think about Bad Dolly jumping in that fight there at the end? Leave me your thoughts and opinions. Join the conversation below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Damien After Dark channel. And press that thumbs up button. That is your way of supporting the channel for free, okay? That helps me out. That helps me get in the algorithm. And last but not least, if you want to donate to your boy, in the description box below will be some ways that you can tip me using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. My Amazon wish list is also down there. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your love and support. I truly appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for episode 5. The recap is coming. Love you guys so much. And make sure you're watching the Baddies Gone Wild recaps. They're coming as well. Love you guys. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. Mwah.